This video is just what it says, loose ends. It's the sixth in a series about the benefits of fact-driven recruiting and talent management, and there were just a few items that didn't quite fit into the flow of the other 5 videos. So here they are. We have said again and again that fact-driven decisions are better than intuition-driven decisions. How is it that intuition goes off the rails? Intuition can make little discrete decisions, but not big complex ones. You cannot design the space shuttle with intuition. You cannot even design one component with intuition. You need to use your linear mind for those sorts of decisions. But intuition is task-driven, not quality-driven. You ask it a question, it wants to answer you. It's very dutiful. It wants to give you that answer. But when you ask it if you should hire someone, it cannot give you a good answer, so it defaults down until it finds a question that it can answer. In the case of selection, that question is, do I like this person? So you ask, should I hire them? And it answers a different question, do you like them? But it fails to tell you that it's answering a different question, it just gives you the answer. Not knowing all these gyrations that your intuition is going through, when it says yes, you think reasonably that it's the answer to the question you asked, but it's not. It's the answer to that other question. If you hire somebody that you like and they bomb on the job because they don't have the skills or experience, then you wonder, where did I go wrong? It wasn't your fault. Your intuition deceived you. If, on the other hand, you deconstructed the job into its parts and asked the candidate to tell you about their having been successful at each of the parts, scored their answers and wrote down their scores, you would see on your piece of paper that the person fit you and the organization like an old friend, but they still couldn't do the job. And that's why we are committed to fact-driven versus intuition-driven decision-making. Should you inform your decisions with the results of personality instruments or a fact-driven process? Both if you can, but if you can't have both, fact-driven is our preference because it uses language that is common to managers. A problem with some personality instruments when they use the language of research psychologists rather than normal workplace English. Another issue, personality instruments work on the assumption that because somebody has the disposition and the aptitudes that they can do the job. Disposition and aptitudes are necessary but not necessarily sufficient. We want to know if the candidate actually has done the job and how well. So psychologists even challenge the notion that you're not having the disposition for a job as a stopper. They point out that individuals can create accommodations like working extra hard to offset their not having the perfect personality for a job. Personality instruments, however, are very useful. If you do not have to choose between the two, use both. The resulting suite of candidate information is uncommonly lush. When Daniel Kahneman implemented his fact-based new recruit analysis into the Israeli army, his recruiters rebelled, feeling that their highly honed intuition was being insultingly discounted. It was being discounted. It didn't work. Hiring managers are the same. They often love their intuition and believe that it's nearly infallible. The resistance can be overcome. Here's how. Do not propose that the facts make the decision. They should appear only to inform. Managers need to feel in control and respected, and you got to give hiring managers a lot of data. That last item is sort of interesting. Research indicates that more data beyond a certain point do not improve the predictive accuracy of hiring decisions. But more data do make hiring managers feel better about the decisions. It's a little Barnum and Bailey sleight of hand. But if more data allows hiring managers to hear the factual analysis and to be guided by it, what the heck? This slide is in all bold for a reason. It's very, very important. Good work not adequately communicated may as well not have been done. And even though a fair amount of trust has been built, voids still fill up with dark and accusatory thoughts. Almost no one trusts recruiters, so recruiters need to communicate openly, honestly, completely, and obsessively. Here's a study we did some years ago regarding how well served by recruiters management felt that they were. The top of the Simon bars is how much on a 1 through 5 scale they want. The dark blue line is what they feel they got. It's not a very pretty picture. Look at the top several categories. If a recruiter does not constantly reassure his or her hiring managers and bosses that they're on top of these categories, the bosses will default to the perception that they're not doing well. The graph represents what a lot of people expect, that recruiters' performances will fall short of their hiring managers' desires and needs. These measurements can help steer recruiters toward better performance and can communicate success to the managers. That's it. This is the end of the last video in the series. I hope that you took to heart the notion that people management just cannot be done well without facts and data. And thank you again. I hope that we've given you a glimpse into some techniques you can use to quantify your recruiting and other talent-related data, and how you can use those data to tell your story internally, hopefully demonstrating your recruiting's value to your organization. As always, if you would like to chat about this, please call or write. I love talking about it. I'm John Wentworth. Thanks very much.